Good morning. Welcome to today's press conference. My name is Benjamin Spencer from Relevant Sports and the International Champions Cup. Thank you, everyone, for being here today, this morning here at Levi Stadium. We'd like to kick off this year's tournament, the International Champions Cup, presented by Guinness Beer here in the Bay Area, with representatives from 3 of the 4 teams playing this summer here, representatives from Relevant Sports, the San Jose Earthquakes, and the San Francisco 49ers obviously host today at Levi Stadium. Before we go to them, I just want to introduce everyone one by one. First off, we have Charlie Stolitano, the chairman of Relevant Sports. We have Al Guido, who's the COO of the San Francisco 49ers. We have Dave Cavill, the president of the San Jose Earthquakes, obviously the local MLS soccer team here, who plays just a few miles away, the Avaya Stadium. And then we have a representative from each team, 2 very distinguished and very successful former players. I think between the 2 of them, their careers, they have something between 20 and 30 trophies won. First, we have Dennis Irwin, who, if you're old enough, and I am to remember him on the 90s Manchester United teams that literally won everything. He played for Manchester United 12 seasons, I believe. And correct me if I'm wrong on any of this. 12 seasons, and won a total of 7 Premier League titles, 3 FA Cups, and of course the famous UEFA Champions League, the famous come from behind victory in Munich against Bayern Munich in Barcelona. Well, sorry, against Bayern Munich, excuse me. In Barcelona. In 1999, the famous treble for Manchester United under Sir Alex Ferguson. Also, I should mention that Dennis played for the Republic of Ireland national team a total of 56 times, including at the 1994 World Cup. Lastly, but not least, we have Giuliano Belletti, who people may remember, of course, from the 2006 UEFA Champions League. It was his goal in the 81st minute, I believe, or 82nd, I think, defeated Arsenal and gave Barcelona the UEFA Champions League title. He played for the club from 2004 to 2007 in Barcelona, and then also played for teams such as Chelsea for, I believe, 3 years in Chelsea? 3 years in Chelsea, played for teams like Villarreal, and also played for the Brazilian national team, including at the 2002 World Cup in Korea and Japan, where he won the World Cup title. Before we go any further, I'm just going to introduce Charlie Stolitano to give us a little background on the tournament and also on the games we'll have this summer in the Bay Area. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Ben. Dennis, thank you for bringing the weather from Manchester. This, if you know, this is the entire summer in one day in Manchester here, we have here. First of all, I want to thank everyone for being here. It's really an honor for me. I see John Doyle just walked in. Big John, how you doing, my man? It's a pleasure to be here to officially kick off the 2015 International Champions Cup, presented by Guinness Beer in the Bay Area. Thank you. Thank you very much. Plane flying over. That's a flyover. We do that before every game. We are thrilled to come back to the Bay Area after featuring games here in our first 2 editions, and in particular, host 2 truly exciting matches. First, on July 14th, the Bay Area's own San Jose Earthquakes will take on Mexico's top Club America at the brand new Avaya Stadium, which I'm going to get a tour today, right? Okay, there we go. Excellent. VVIP for me, thank you. And the second one is one of our tournament marquee matchups will take place here at Levi Stadium on July 25th, when two of the world's top clubs, Manchester United and FC Barcelona, face off in what we no doubt expect to be a sellout crowd. There'll be a third game. We don't know where yet, but just to address it now, San Jose Earthquakes against Manchester United, and we're trying to find a venue for that. So we'll see how that turns out. The 2014 International Champions Cup was an incredible success, with 13 matches taking place at 13 venues throughout North America. More than 600,000 fans packed stadia across the country to watch the tournament, and more than 660 million households worldwide watched live on TV. We have no doubt that those numbers will significantly increase this summer. We expect the TV numbers to reach 1 billion households this summer, so really extraordinary. Last year's tournament included multiple sellouts, including matches in New York, Michigan, and of course Berkeley. It is therefore we are excited to be returning to one of the country's premier soccer communities for 2 matches. We truly consider this year's lineup our best yet, considering that 10 teams combined for 91 domestic league titles, 98 domestic cup titles, 6 CONCACAF Champions Leagues, and 10 UEFA Champions League titles. In particular, I want to thank our 2 hosts here for the match, the San Francisco 49ers and the San Jose Earthquakes. Al's got the right last name. Dave, his mother's Italian, so that counts. Giuliano's grandfather was Italian, and Dennis is a mutt that I'm still angry at about beating Italy in the '94 World Cup, but that's something else we'll deal with. They're great organizations. They really are, the 49ers and the Earthquakes, and they're perfect partners for relevant sports in the ICC. The 49ers, obviously one of the NFL's premier franchises. We're excited to be able to host the game at one of the country's newest and most impressive stadia. We'd also like to thank the Earthquakes for their partnership, and considering the popularity of soccer in the Bay Area, it made perfect sense to work with what has been the soccer brand in this area since 1974. The housekeeping, ticket details. Exclusive pre-sale tickets for the match will be available beginning Monday, May 4th at 10 a.m. Eastern, while general public will have access to tickets Thursday, May 7th at 10 a.m. Eastern. Fans can sign up to www.internationalchampionscup.com for access to the pre-sale. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Charlie. Next, we'd like to invite Al Guido from the San Francisco 49ers to say a few words.
Got to get it down to my height. One, I just want to thank everybody for being here today and taking out your time. 2, want to thank Charlie and Relevant, obviously the folks at Manchester and Barcelona, and more important, I'd say most important for us is our local partnership here with Dave Cavill and the San Jose Earthquakes and the city of Santa Clara. You know, our goal was to bring premier live sporting events to Levi Stadium, and I think based off those stats, everyone would agree that having 2 of the most storied franchise play at Levi's is a wow event. There will be over 70,000 people here. It continues what we believe is a streak of fantastic events in 2015, coming out of the gates with WrestleMania, obviously an outdoor NHL hockey game. It's just been, 2 Grateful Dead shows, but Charlie said it, this is a premier area for soccer in the United States. The Earthquakes have displayed that. Our international match last year displayed that, and we look forward to continuing that with a fantastic match, Manchester United versus Barcelona. So thank you again for being here. Thank you for bringing it to Levi Stadium.
Thank you very much. Next, we'd like to invite Dave Cavill, president of the San Jose Earthquakes.
Thanks so much. I want to echo what Al said. I mean, obviously a very historic day for the San Jose Earthquakes and the entire Bay Area soccer community. We're really in the middle of a renaissance for soccer in this community. It's unbelievable to think back to the games in the 80s. A guy like Peter Bridgewater, who used to run the Earthquakes and bring great big international matches to this community. And then for a long time, there weren't really the matches that people come to expect. And that was partially because there just weren't the facilities. And to sit here with Levi Stadium behind us, with Avaya Stadium 6 miles away as the crow flies, and have these beautiful new venues to host the best clubs in the world with the best partners in relevant sports. And Charlie, it's really a new day. And I'm so excited over the next 3 to 5 years and 10 years that we'll be able to have events like this on an ongoing basis. And so I think soccer fans should be really fired up. General sports fans should be fired up. These are going to be the biggest games in the world hosted right here in the Bay Area. And I think a lot of the key metrics are all here. You know, we had Mexico, Chile, right here at this building, 70,000 people. Avaya Stadium, where we play, our new stadium, 12,000 full season ticket holders, a wait list of 1,000 people. If you'd have told me a year ago when we opened, started the process of our stadium, we have 1,000 people on a wait list, that's incredible. So to see this interest level, to see this type of tournament coming here, really an amazing accomplishment for everyone involved. Happy to be a part of it and thrilled for this coming summer. Thank you.
Thank you, Dave. And now we'd like to invite Dennis Irwin on behalf of Manchester United.
Gonna come. Good morning, everybody. I mean, this is weather that we don't expect in Manchester. I can guarantee you that. I would have brought some shades otherwise. As Ben says, my name's Dennis Irwin. I spent 12 fantastic years at Manchester United in the 90s and the early 2000s, playing for what I believe is one of the biggest clubs in the world. It's great to be back here, coming back as holders of the International Champions Cup and coming down to the Bay to play two fantastic matches. Earthquakes, I think, on the 21st, San Jose Earthquakes. And of course the big heavyweight match against Barcelona here on the 25th of July, Saturday 25th of July. So we're really looking forward to that. I know the manager, the players, the staff, they love coming out to America. I think 6th time in 13 years we've been out here because the facilities are great, the stadiums are fantastic. Look at this Levi stadium here behind us. It should be a really fantastic match against Barcelona. I think we've played Barcelona about 11 times, if memory serves me right. My first year at the club of Manchester United, we beat them in the European Cup Winners' Cup in Rotterdam in Holland, beat them 2-1. Always been a fantastic side, always a great team to play against. First of 5 appearances against them. Really had some tremendous players back in those days as well, Laudrup and Stoichkov and Goycochea, if you can remember the name. So really is a match to savour here against, as I said, 2 of the top clubs in the world, Manchester United v Barcelona. We've been coming to America since the 50s, spent some time in the 60s. I think George Best, one of our famous players, played for the Earthquakes in the early 80s. I'm sure he enjoyed himself here. He certainly enjoyed himself in Manchester, I know that. So I'm fully sure that he enjoyed himself here. Yeah, I was 6 times in the last 12, 13 years. Unfortunately, the 12 years I was at United for, we didn't come out to America. But as Charlie says, I played here in the '94 World Cup. First game against Italy in New Jersey, Charlie's home place, and we managed to win 1-0. Funny story about that day, we actually had the same colour kit on as Italy. We were drawn as the away team, I think, but we ended up wearing green and we won the game. So we had a great experience. I think actually the MLS started on the back of that 2 years later, and that seems to be growing as well. I mean, another 2 teams this year, Orlando coming in and obviously New York City, so it's growing in popularity. We feel that. We've got over 8 million followers here in America. Every time we come, every year we come, it's progressively getting better. And we're really looking forward to coming here. I know I'll be here back in coming up in July, so I'm sure the hospitality will be great, and we're really looking forward to it. Thank you.
Last but not least, we'd like to invite Giuliano Belletti to the stage. Just a note, Giuliano is going to speak in Spanish, and then we'll translate it into English after this. Si quiere cambiar inglés.
Buenos días a todos, gracias por la invitación. Es un momento especial en una época que el fútbol llegó en Estados Unidos de una manera muy fuerte y muy divertida. Y así somos los brasileños. Yo soy un jugador de defensa, pero he tenido la oportunidad de jugar en un equipo como el Barcelona, que tiene alegría de jugar al fútbol, que siempre piensa no solo en ganar los partidos, sino que también en hacer el fútbol más atractivo para la gente. Y en 2006 he jugado con Ronaldinho Gaúcho, que está en México ahora, con Deco, Samuel Eto'o, Vítor Valdés, que ahora está en Manchester, que es la gente que se preocupaba en hacer el fútbol un deporte alegre, feliz. Y el Barcelona, Estados Unidos, he venido 2 veces a hacer la pretemporada aquí, y la gente siempre ha sido espectacular con nosotros. Siempre hemos tenido el estadio lleno de gente, lleno de aficionados que se enamoraron de la manera del Barça jugar. Y enfrentando al Manchester, uno de los equipos más importantes de la historia de este deporte. Me acuerdo una vez que he enfrentado a Cristiano Ronaldo en el Manchester y madre mía, fue muy difícil. Y los días que he enfrentado a Lionel Messi en los entrenos del Barcelona, que era joven todavía, pero tenía ganas de ser un jugador profesional, y hoy probablemente es el más grande jugador de la historia del fútbol, uno de los más grandes, y estará aquí muy cerca de todos que podrán disfrutar no solo de él, Andrés Iniesta, Xavi Hernández, que son jugadores que probablemente entrarán en la historia de este deporte no solo por ganar títulos, sino que jugaron un fútbol bonito, un fútbol atractivo, y es esto que todos queremos ver aquí. Gracias.
Good morning. It's an honor to be here in this important moment as soccer has arrived in the U.S. in a really strong and sort of fun manner. That's exactly the way Barcelona looks to play. Barcelona is a team that not only looks to win, but to play with an attractive style and provide joy for people. In 2006, I was lucky enough to play with people like Ronaldinho, who's now in Mexico, Samuel Eto'o, Victor Valdez, who's now with Manchester United, and they're the type of players who make this sport something full of happiness, full of joy, and that's essentially what Barcelona looks to do. I was able to come to the U.S. twice with Barcelona, and both times the people were spectacular. We played in front of full stadiums with fans who would fall in love with the club and the way they play. Obviously, Manchester United is one of the most important clubs in the history of this game in soccer. I've had a chance to play against Cristiano Ronaldo, which was incredibly tough, and back in my old days, play against Lionel Messi when he was a lot younger, but obviously with the drive to become the best player in the world, which he either is now or one of the best. And for that reason, I invite people to come watch people like Messi, people like Iniesta, Xavi, the top players of Barcelona play this summer as their players who will not enter into history just for the titles they've won, but also for the way they play. Thank you very much. With that, we'd like to, well, first of all, thank you to everyone for your remarks. We'd like to enter into questions and answers. We'll do it in this format also, but for any of the TV stations afterwards, any of the print journalists, or anyone that wants sort of more intimate one-on-one interviews with the participants, they'll be available as well. But if anyone has questions, please just raise their hand. Rico?
Rico Ramirez, Area Grande, y SoccerPix.net. My question for Belletti and the gentleman from Manchester United. Normally, we are used to see those teams playing big championships, but what can we expect from the game at Levi Stadium between Manchester and Barcelona?
I'm getting fit here, I know that. Well, we came out last year and played Real Madrid up at Ann Arbor in Michigan in a full-blooded match. I mean, you got to play football the same way in a pre-season friendly as you do in a Premier League match or a European match. You know, you got to give it everything. The initial thing is to get yourself focused and get yourself fit. But if you judge from last year and the tournament last year, we played Inter Milan, we played Liverpool, played Roma. So it was a great, some big matches there, and if you've witnessed any of them matches, you know you're going to see a proper game here. It's a proper game. There's no such thing as pre-season friendlies anymore, and when teams like Barcelona and Manchester United come head to head, I can guarantee you them players want to win.
Não se pode entrar num campo de futebol que vas a enfrentar o Manchester United pensando que é solo um amistoso. Não. Tem que entrar com respeito, bem preparado. Los últimos anos han sido assim. O Barça ha enfrentado sempre oponentes de campeões de Europa, equipos que han venido também a ganar, querer ganar al Fútbol Club Barcelona. Então, o partido é muito sério e nadie vai querer perder. Gran partido.